Good morning and happy Friday. It's November 8th, and this is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Andrew Garcia. The gloomy weather is sticking around today, and we'll likely see more rain and some thunderstorms this afternoon. But those storms are projected to clear up, and we'll have a sunny weekend with temperatures falling to the lower 50s in the evenings, highs in the 70s or so. You know, it's been a long week, and no matter how you're feeling about election results, here's a quick and friendly reminder to de-stress. Take some deep breaths maybe, do something that brings you joy this weekend. Myself, I think I'll be heading to the movies. But before the weekend comes, we gotta get into today's news. A man accused of killing a woman in Oak Cliff 35 years ago was found guilty of murder yesterday. David Rojas was linked to the murder of Mary Hay Kelly by DNA forensics sourced from companies like 23andMe and Ancestry. The 78-year-old woman was strangled and raped in her home in 1989. Rojas was given an automatic life sentence with the guilty verdict. North Texas has grown by more than 500,000 people since the 2020 census. That's according to an estimate by the Texas Demographic Center. Demographer Lloyd Potter says an estimated 864 people are moving to the state each day. Some North Texas counties in the region grew by more than 20% between 2020 and early 2024 as thousands of people moved in. The counties that saw the largest growth include Kaufman, Rockwall, Ellis, and Collin. Few people were shocked Tuesday night when Texas was called for former President Donald Trump. But just how much the Republican candidate won the Lone Star State by showed massive gains for the party compared to the last presidential election. Most of those gains were in South Texas, specifically in the Rio Grande Valley and surrounding areas, where traditionally blue counties flipped red. The Texas Newsroom's Blaise Gainey says experts tell him it's the culmination of a years-long GOP strategy.
Back in the 2020 presidential election, Trump won Texas by 6 percentage points over President Joe Biden. But on Tuesday, he beat Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris by 14 points. Texas GOP Chairman Abraham George says that improvement stems from years of hard work.
The last 4 or 5 months, ever since I became chairman, one of my campaign promises were that we will be flipping South Texas.
And they did. Republicans won every county in the Rio Grande Valley. The flip was most dramatic in Starr County. Back in 2016, when Trump first ran for president, he lost Starr County by 60 points. This time around, he won the county, which is 97% Hispanic, by 16 points. George described the work as a grassroots effort.
We did go work really hard on the South Texas area.
That included door knocking and repeated visits by Republican officials and volunteers. Political scientist Kevin Kearns at Texas A&M University at Corpus Christi says he's noticed the increased attention on the region from Republicans.
Even here in Corpus Christi, we've periodically seen Governor Abbott come down and campaign. Even if you just looked at political candidates coming to South Texas, I mean, in 2022, in the midterm elections, President Trump was here.
But it wasn't just Republicans' outreach to voters. Joshua Blank of the Texas Politics Project at the University of Texas at Austin says it's also due to the makeup of the area, which is majority Latino.
It's important to note, especially in South Texas, that we're not necessarily talking about, college educated or even urban Hispanic voters. We're talking in most cases about non-college educated, suburban, and often rural Hispanic voters.
He's talking about working class voters who've long been seen as a key voting bloc for the Democratic Party. But Blank says many now see the Democrats as
reflecting the tastes and policy preferences of a core group of college-educated voters.
One example, Harris's plan to give first-time home buyers $25,000.
Well, that sounds pretty cool as long as you can find a house that's under $250,000, and that represents 10% of a down payment that you can then hopefully go get a bank loan at a really high interest rate.
And that's tough with today's housing prices. Another factor in Republicans' gains in Texas is the economy. Brandon Rottinghouse is a University of Houston political scientist.
A lot of the rural parts of Texas are shifting red because the economy is less good, and the economy crosses over issues of racial attachment to the Democratic Party.
Craig Goldman, former Texas House GOP caucus chair and now Congressman-elect, says this is part of a Republican awakening.
I think there's a lot of people who used to vote Democrat because they always have, realizing that their policies don't favor them, and the policies of the Republicans they're more in line with and more in tune with.
Now, Texas GOP Chairman Abraham George says Texas Republicans are hoping South Texas in the RGV stays solid red for a while.
We're just getting started, man. South Texas will be the place that will hold the Republican Party together over the next 2-3 decades.
Meanwhile, Texas Democrats are left trying to figure out how and if they can regain that ground.
That was the Texas Newsroom's Blaise Gainey reporting. Dallas won against the Chicago Blackhawks last night, 3-1. They play the red-hot league-leading Winnipeg Jets tomorrow. The Mavs play the Phoenix Suns tonight, and the Cowboys take on the Eagles on Sunday. Soak in Armenian culture this weekend at the Armenia Fest 2024. Enjoy food, dance, and more at St. Sarkis Church in Carrollton. For more information and other things to do, visit kera.org/calendar. Thank you so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. The show was produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter, written by our colleague, Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday.